cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1931, 1931. Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast, located somewhere in Podcastro Valentino today.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
At the last place on earth, last show, we did it from Podcastro Valentino, and things got crazy, and it was haunted because there was ghosts. It was cafe anyway with ghosts. It was so scary we ran out, and then we ate toast. This actually happened. It was sort of in the off-air part.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The part where you didn't hear it. The part that didn't actually get recorded. That part there is what that happened.
Mike's
So just be
Daily
aware that
Podcast.
you don't get everything.
Yeah.
No, just because you listen all the time doesn't mean you get everything. Tell me what you think about that. 336mm daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews Daily isn't what this podcast will be for the next couple of days anyway. Because I am, how do we say this? I am working a lot. Yes, I am working a lot. Would I like Thanksgiving off? Oh, sure. That would be great. Especially because I was invited to a wonderful Thanksgiving lunch. And this couple makes the best Thanksgiving food. But guess what? I don't get to go. Oh, the guy who makes the schedule gets to go to Thanksgiving. Oh, the guy that happens to do the morning shift gets to go to Thanksgiving later on. But not me, because I get to do the evening shift. I get to do the evening shift of my part-time endeavor. The evening. Why am I doing this? That's the question. When I don't even get to celebrate, I get to celebrate Halloween, but Thanksgiving. Come on. It's kind of rude. I guess people don't give a hoot. But that's how it is when you are being scheduled, isn't it? When you are being scheduled. That's what life is, isn't it?
And here's today's podcast picture.
You're constantly being scheduled for things you may not want to do. I mean, listen, my part-time endeavor is fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the people I work with. But it's just a little bit after all I do I'm just going to say to you right now, I got a little slighted this year for Thanksgiving. Last year I took it off because it was my birthday. And if they would have made me work on my birthday last year, I would have quit. Now this year they're making me work on Thanksgiving, but it's not my birthday, so I'm a little okay with it. But my lovely lady friend, who is absolutely amazing, is completely cool with it, and we're going to have a little bit of Thanksgiving while I'm at my other endeavor. I juggle a lot. I throw a lot of plates up in the air. Meanwhile, also keeping an eye on my actual full-time endeavor, which is walking Basil the Boxer. That's right. He said, that's right, you walk me, Mike. Because even though my back legs don't move, you walk me in the front part, and I like that. And playing with pit bulls. That's what he did yesterday. He played with some pit bulls by Lake Merritt in Oakland. That's the thing you gotta do, is play with pit bulls. Cutest dang pit bull I ever seen. This big little lump. This old lady was walking this pit bull. It was awesome. Basil was playing with them. It was great. That's what you gotta do. You gotta take your pit bull out. You gotta be not afraid of pit bulls. And there's a whole bunch of stuff online that will teach you the correct way to perceive pit bulls. And then a guy showed up with like a little puppy corny corso. That's not how you say it, but like a mastiff, one of those big, is a little puppy now. But a tail that was fluid. It moved like a snake. That was my snake sound for you. You're welcome. But I just don't like that whole thing where people, they don't care. They don't care. What am I talking about now? Dog owners? Well, I don't like the dog owners that don't care that their dog just pooped on your lawn. That's not cool. And those dog owners need to go to dog owner jail and then have someone go over and poop on their lawn And then we'll have it all worked out. I think that's how it works, isn't it? Oh, did we get to the podcast picture today? It's with this lovely lady.
Hello, Mike Matthews. I think I was on the last show. This is Shelley Schuhart, gift shop supervisor.
You know, if you go to the trailer that I do for the YouTube page, youtube.com/MikesDailyPodcast, I say your name, Shelley Schuhart.
Yeah, I know. It's really cute, Mike Matthews.
Yesterday, my lovely lady friend and I, don't call me cute.
Why, Mike Matthews?
I don't want anyone to think I'm cute, except my lovely lady friend.
Not too bad. You're cute.
Thank you. Okay, so my lovely lady friend and I had wonderful food at an Ethiopian restaurant. The article preceding an adjective, a vowel starting word must end with an N, versus a Norwegian restaurant. See, you want to say an Ethiopian, a Norwegian. Now, it gets a little dicey when you have words that start with an H, because some people consider that silent and you go straight into the vowel. For example, it was a historic event. But people correct me and go, no, it's an historic event. And I'm like, no. There's a H sound there. That's not a vowel. Am I right? Am I right? Okay. So it'd be, am I an ite? Okay, now we've gotten off topic and I don't know where we are. We're a little confused. So here's a little problem that DJs have in the radio world. When they get on TV, for some reason they always default to Johnny Carson. Huh? To wit, Ryan Seacrest. To me, he's doing a Johnny Carson impression every time he talks. I don't know what it is. There's this other guy I know. He goes Johnny Carson constantly. What is that? Why? Does anyone... Okay, how is anyone watching Johnny Carson? YouTube? Is that... Because I grew up with him. And yes, I did a lot of the Johnny Carson, that's wild stuff type thing. But you got to get away from that. He was an amazing guy. He represented a type of broadcaster / comedian that a lot of us wanted to be. But let's face it, a lot of accounts say he was not the nicest guy. And I don't like that whole grip, the total control he had over the careers of comedians. So if a comedian, first off, I would never want to be a comedian, even though this has comedy in the tag for this podcast on one of the podcast things it's on. But yeah, I want to be a comedian, so I have to get on Johnny Carson. And then, Johnny called me over to his couch. He gave me Drew Carey starts breaking down crying. He called me over to the desk to sit down at the couch, and it made my career. Okay, fine. I am not that big of a fan of any comedians that came out of the 80s. I'm sorry. Some of you people go, oh my God, Eddie Murphy was amazing. Oh my God, Jerry Seinfeld was so funny. Oh my God, Bill Cosby. Oops. Breaks. Stop. No. I am very blessed in my full-time job that sometimes I get to produce still. This guy does a talk show. And he just talks completely off the cuff without any scripts. He's got a little bit of notes he goes by. But some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I am just amazed at how funny it just comes right out. Some jokes he uses over and over and over again. And I'm like, yeah, okay, here it comes. And then as the producer of his show, he likes sound effects, so I throw those in. And he's very impressed with my skills of putting sound effects in. In fact, he may have said something like this once.
It doesn't matter what you've seen, it's what I've seen. I gotta give Mike Matthews credit. He can pull sound effects pretty darn fast. I throw in the cluck like a chicken just to see if I can mess with him, and sure enough, he has it.
But honestly, some of the funny stuff, that's where I love comedians that are funny without the material. Do you know what I mean? I mean, material, you sit down, you work on it, and you find what's funny. But there are some people that are funny regardless. I like those people. To me, those are comedians. That's my type of comedian. That's funny all the time. Sans material. Sans wrote it down. Jerry Seinfeld always wrote a joke and rewrote a joke and rewrote a joke and no, until it was funny. No. I mean, that's probably why I'm not funny and why I will never be a comedian. But I just get a little tired of the overwritten. Back to scheduled. It all comes back to being scheduled and putting something in stone, isn't it? And nailing it down and saying, Happy Dia de los Muertos, Shelley Shuhart.
Mike Matthews, I think that was yesterday.
If you go on Bing, it says it's still going on today. But yes, that's what we talk about in the podcast picture. See it now at MikesDailyPodcast.com. We have done a bit of an overhaul of MikesDailyPodcast.com. Now you really see the podcast picture. It takes up the whole page. It's beautiful. And then I've streamlined some stuff. I do it all myself with a little help from WordPress. So here we go. You can see it at MikesDailyPodcast.com. I would appreciate it if you went there and checked it out. You can also check it out on your phone browser, and it looks great, too. I love that. Yesterday, so I had the Ethiopian food. What did it entail? They've got this bread that looks like Ace Bandage. You ever use an Ace Bandage? Wrap up something? A sprained ankle or what have you? That's what it looks like, this bread. I forget what it's called. But they serve that to you in these little bowls. And you unwrap this bread, this really fine, picture Wonder Bread, that stuff without the stuff in the middle, the bread part without the crust, that really, and it's really kind of mushy, and that's what it is. It's that rolled up in little rolls, and you unroll it, and then you can go pick up the food. Lamb. They eat lamb there. Poor lamb. They're so delicious. And there was like some chicken and some kind of lentil thing, some kind of potato thing. It was good. Spinach thing, cabbage thing. Oh, so delicious. And my body loved it because today I feel really good versus eating a burger and fries. The next day I feel awful. Hey, here's a little health thing for you today because we also have that in the tag of the podcast, and that is wherever you listen to this podcast. And you can find a myriad of places to listen to this podcast if you go to MikesDailyPodcast.com. Is that a coworker did something where we were all a little bit shocked. So somebody brought donuts to work, and he goes into the break room. He gets 3 donuts, and he walks back to his desk with the 3 donuts. And I'm his superior. I'm his manager. Not superior. That's stupid. I'm not superior to anyone. I manage him. Okay, so I go over and I see this can be a little bit of an issue where you take 3 donuts and everybody else, that means not everyone in the office gets a donut. So not that everyone in the office wants a donut. And he did wait till everybody got a donut. So he saw 3 there, and he grabbed 3. And I go over, and I go, wow, you took 3 donuts. And he said to me, Mike, do you know what fat shaming is? He's a younger guy. He's in his 20s. So I'm noticing people in their 20s tend to use the word shaming in some way. Are you fat shaming? And I said, well, are you Mike shaming? And then, because there wasn't really no shaming going on. I was just saying 3 donuts. Come on. But donuts are not good for you. Duh. But they aren't. But they're delicious. But they're not good for you because it's so much sugar. And Alton Brown, back in the day before he sold out and did the Iron Chef thing and all his other stupid competition shows he does on the Food Network now. But way back when, he did the amazing show called Good Eats. That's it. And he discussed how, and he had gotten pretty heavy. And then he got into a diet where he ate a lot of sardines. And he decided, I am going to stop eating donuts. And he looked at it like this. He was at a gas station. And he goes, you need fuel for your car. A gas tank is what you need. to move a car. But if you put too much gas in the tank, that's when you get fat. Because now you've got an overload of energy and your body has to store it, so it puts it into fat. And then you get fat and you get big. And he goes, when you put a donut into your body, it's like putting this much gas into a small car. So he's showing like a little car, like a little Kia something. And then he's saying, this is how much gas you've put into it. And then there's a huge, gas tanker next to him. And I go, oh, I get it. So the donut represents the gas tanker. And I'm putting that much into my little Kia body, and my Kia body can't handle it. So now it gets fat and ugly, and I get fat shamed. Thank you. By the way, I understand that health podcasts are not popular because it does require someone to act superior and confident and go, oh, look at me. I'm so buff. I'm so cool and healthy. And you're not. That's never, ever, ever what I'm saying. I'm just telling you, these are things that I have observed that have helped my life be a lot better. Because I have been bad. I have eaten donuts. And then I'm wondering why the rest of the day I feel awful. This is what I found out, is you shouldn't eat them. Once in a while, moderation, you know that. But I'm not an expert. And this show is not about listening to an expert. It's about hearing things that help you and entertain you and maybe take you outside of what you see, what you experience, and enjoy it from a different angle. That's all I'm doing. And hanging outside a cafe anyway, where there's entirely too many buckets of candy around me. Who brought all this candy? This is unacceptable. Oh boy, people that go, this is unacceptable. Aren't they they're the ones that are unacceptable. I never use that because it's just the most, this is unacceptable. As in, it's unacceptable by everyone. No, it's just unacceptable to you. Do not, we have to put up with those type of people, don't we? And they're the unacceptable ones. Okay, I guess I've made my point there. Here we go. Let's say hi to some people.
Hi, man. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How's y'all doing? I bought some candy that the kids in the neighborhood didn't want, y'all.
Thank you. I love Reese's. That's the only thing I like in here. Get these Skittles out of here. Get these M&Ms out of here. Yes, my namesake. Get them out of here. You can call me 336MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily isn't what this podcast will try to be. Look who else is here.
Hello. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. It's a disgruntled. It's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you what.
What?
I couldn't get started there. It's kind of like starting a car. Now I'm going again. Here I am. Okay.
They should be more like you, Disgruntled Fiddle Player. Instead of being like Johnny Carson, they should be more like Johnny Cash. Am I right?
Yeah, he was great.
Look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer Hanson right now.
What if I don't drink it?
I'll cut you.
See, this is how it goes here. Delicious root beer. Aw. So, yes, I might go to Niles tonight to celebrate Dia de los Muertos. We'll see. Niles puts on an amazing festival here in the Bay Area. We'll see how that goes. But, hey, I'm going to throw a random topic at you after I've said hey. We talked about the anxious ums of millennials. Now that I say that, it sounds good, but I don't really know what I mean by that. I just know that if you call a millennial and you talk to them and you ask them to do something, you get a lot of this, okay. But you know what? I've done that, so I don't really know if that. And Lizzo's Truth Hurts. I've mentioned this before. It is a wonderful, captivating song and absolutely a one-hit wonder. She will only have one song that's a hit. That's my prediction. I am entirely wrong, probably, but... And finally, another singing artist, Martina McBride. She was big in the country world in the 90s. And she did that song, "You're all I need, my love, my Valentine." And she had And I feel so I love you. That was it. Oh, what's the song I want to sing? Oh, I can't get to sleep. I think about the complications, disappear and fade away. That's Colin Hay, and that's Men at Work. And I only bring him up real quick because I saw something amazing. That song called Overkill. They did it. It's on YouTube. You just Google Colin Hay YouTube choir. There's this group called Choir. They're from, I think, Ontario, Canada. They're just a huge group of people that sing perfectly together, and they love Colin Hay, and Colin Hay shows up and sings Overkill, and they do these amazing backup parts live. Oh, and you can see the YouTube there on the YouTube. I'm also on the YouTube, youtube.com/MikesDailyPodcast. I discovered that. But back to Martina McBride. She's doing a podcast now. Oh, which, by the way, I listened to the Ron Burgundy podcast. Ron Burgundy, I'm kind of a big deal. He's got to turn up the volume on his podcast. It was recorded so low. I don't know who's doing that. Funny or Die. Who? Any rate, Martina McBride's doing a podcast now. And it's hilarious because her whole concept of her podcast is she interviews people, interviews her friends. I will tell you that I have met Martina McBride. I know several people in the radio industry who have met Martina McBride. And if you try to interview her, it is like pulling teeth. She clams up. She's cold. As soon as she gets in front of one of these things, a microphone, which I have outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth, Podcaster Valleyton today. So the fact that she's doing an interview podcast, and it's all these people that jump on the podcast bandwagon now. Oh, I'm going to do a podcast. Woo! Okay, well, look at me, buddy. I'm at 1,931. Sorry, 1931. 1931. If you can get up to that many episodes, then you can call yourself a podcaster. But you watch, Martina McBride will do 10 podcasts and then vanish and go back on the tour and sing like a songbird from heaven. So beautiful. What a song. Her voice is so beautiful. The songs I sang for you were awful. My favorite is, where you go, whether I stay, right now depends on whatever you say. Oh, that was a good one. What's the other one I like by her? Oh. Someday I'm gonna be safe in the arms of love. Safe in the arms of love. I want some safe in the arms of love. Yeah, that's a good song. I am doing it a very serious injustice. But that's what happens. And my singing is unacceptable. Sorry. But next show, let's see, who are we scheduled to have next show? Even though I hate schedules. Let's see. We'll go with the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And, tell your friends. And remember, I'm going to be here no matter what. No matter what fads and podcasts come and go. The serial type podcast. Oh, listen to our series about that guy who murdered a bunch of people and then ate their bodies, and then he used their heads as hats, and he made a wonderful clothing line collection that you bought because it was at Target for cheap. Listen to that series now. No, I'll be around way beyond all those, or all the podcasts that talk about TV shows that are popular. Those podcasts come and go and vanish into time. I'm feeling really bad about the Doctor Who podcasts that are out there, because there's nothing about that show anymore. The British show, the British sci-fi show that I love, it's gone. They have written themselves into a corner, as most sci-fi has these days, to wit, Avengers. and all the other Marvel crap. So someday, Doctor Who will have to be rebooted again, but right now it has gone. It's gone into a corner. It's dead, and I'm sad about it because the potential with Jodie Whittaker was acceptable. Now it's unacceptable. So we'll see what happens. Okay, what do you think about all of it? You can tell me by going to what this lady is going to tell you about now. Take it away, Earth.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
My heart's not ready for the rocking chair. I need somebody who really cares. KKDV tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to noon, 92.1 FM, KKDV.com.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. You think about that.